So you mean to tell me this is episode 4? So if you read the title, then you know this episode is about them 20-somethings. The 20-somethings can really be the toughest ages to live in, arguably, I would say. We might be young, turning free, but we literally know nothing. And even though we say and think we do, we literally know nothing. We're the new adults living in a world that's literally different from when the old new adults was adulting. So with the world constantly changing, it's necessary to talk about new things that impact our mental health. In our 20s particularly, we have to go through trauma. We go through hyper independence, and we go through outgrowing people. We go through way more than that, but those are just the 3 things that we're going to touch on this podcast episode. So stay tuned. At the end of the podcast, I have a very special announcement, and let's get right into it. So the first thing that I'm going to discuss is trauma. I feel like in your 20s, you really do need to start, unboxing and combing through your childhood traumas, because in your 20s, before you know it, you're going to be 30, 40, whatever, and you're literally adulting. You're coming into the new world. You're starting families. You're starting careers. You're starting jobs. You're starting new hobbies. You're starting dreams, goals, whatever it is that you're doing in life. You want to make sure that you're ready for it when you get it. You don't want to mishandle your blessings once you get them. It's very important to pray for your protection, pray for your strength, pray for your readiness before you get your blessings, because as quickly as you got them is as fast as you could lose them. So when you're going through these things that were very traumatic for you in your childhood, you want to be able to work through them in your 20s. And it's also important to know that in your 20s, you also can experience a traumatic event. Trauma doesn't have to start from the childhood for it to be trauma, and a lot of people have that misconception. A traumatic event is just a traumatic event, and it can haunt you and it can bother you for the rest of your life if you don't do the necessary, work and the necessary tools and find the necessary help to work through that. I also want to say that there are 2 different traumatic events. You can have genetic trauma, and that's kind of like the schizophrenia, the bipolar, and those things you're more likely to get if it's hereditary, if it's something that's found in your family, your parents or your grandparents or your grand aunts or uncles or whatever is somewhere down your family line, you have those problems, then it's more likely to happen in your life. But that doesn't mean that you can't work through it, and that doesn't mean that you can't comb through it. And then another one is situational. That's kind of like depression and the anxieties. Those things happen on a more environmental basis. That can happen to anybody. So trauma is something that can happen to anybody, whether it is genetic or whether it is situational. We have to know how to work through it, because you don't want to carry that into your life and you have children and now you're starting generational trauma. Now everything that was thrown onto you, you're throwing onto them. Everything that you told yourself you was going to be better at, you're not. And it'll really make you resent yourself. It'll really make you hate yourself to become the person you always said that you wouldn't be. So my advice would be to start combing through your trauma as soon as you realize you have it. Identify your trauma and work through it in that same motion. Another thing I see in those 20-somethings, and I definitely see in my life, is hyper independence. People be on straight survival mode. I can do bad on my own. I can do bad by myself. I'm the boss. I don't need no handouts. That mentality is basically being hyper independent, knowing and living in the mindset that you can do by yourself and you don't need nobody's help. I know personally I'm like that. I'm the type of person, I don't want to wait for nobody. If I want it, I'm gonna go get it. If I told you about it one time, you're lucky I even told you once, because I'm definitely not telling you twice. And I know a lot of people that are like that. We just not going for none of that. Like, I'm not trying to wait on nobody. I'm not trying to ask nobody for nothing. I'm trying to do everything I can on my own, because I've been doing it like that. And if you waiting on somebody else and they disappoint you, now you just mad at yourself, because why did I even have those expectations? Why was I even waiting on you? So I feel like, me personally, growing up, I have become very much hyper independent. I want to do everything by myself, even if I don't have to, even if I don't need to, even if somebody is willing to help me. I'm just like, nah, I'm straight. I do it by myself, because I don't want nobody to throw nothing in my face. I like knowing that I did it on my own, all of that. And as good as that sounds, it is good to be able to do things on your own. And it is good to be able to have that willpower and that work ethic to even do that, because a lot of people don't even possess that much power. However, with everything, there are boundaries. If you're too independent, hence the hyper independence, you're crossing that line, you're crossing that boundary, you're getting into the unhealthy zone. There are situations where you can burn yourself out if you don't let somebody give you a hand. Literally, you can be pushing the heaviest cart in the world and there's somebody right there asking you like, hey, can I give you a hand? And because you're too prideful, because you're too independent, you'll rather keep breaking a sweat, you'll rather pass out, fall out, burn out, than have somebody help you. That's unhealthy, that's not right, that's not okay. Once you start getting into that mindset, that frame, that's when you need to be like, okay, hold on. Maybe I need to take a second, maybe I need to take a step back and see, am I a little too independent? Am I doing a little too much? Because that's one example. And then another example, maybe you could push somebody away. A loved one, a family member, whoever, they can be trying to help you, in ways that you don't really even need it. Maybe they want to buy you something, food, drinks, a gift, whatever, and you don't want them to give it to you, and you won't let them forget that you don't need them to do for you. You'll just keep throwing it in their face. Oh, I can do this myself. I don't need you to do anything. I don't need you to do anything. Well, first of all, when you keep doing that to somebody, that's a bet they won't do anything, and then you'll be stuck feeling crazy. You'll be stuck feeling dumb. Like the minute you keep pushing somebody away and then they do it, and then you're stuck looking just dumbfounded. That's ridiculous. That is a result of hyper independence. You'll push somebody away so far, so much, you don't even realize they done with you. And now they're done. Now you're upset. So the main takeaway for hyper independence is to set boundaries, but to also accept help. You don't want to experience burnout. You are in your 20s and you are going to be experiencing new things. And there is somebody who has experienced what you haven't yet. So it's okay if you need help, and it's okay to go seek that. It is not okay to be hyper independent and burn yourself out. So just be mindful and be careful of how you treat yourself, and how you treat your body, and how you treat your mind. One of the most common things, and probably something everybody is going to experience in their 20s, is outgrowing somebody. You meet a lot of people and you lose a lot of people in your 20s because, you graduate from high school and you move away, you go different places, and you're just bound to meet different people and be in different environments and make different connections. And it really can be hard for someone to let go of someone because they've outgrown each other. A lot of times outgrowing somebody is a hard concept to grasp. People think that something terrible or something traumatic, something just off the wall has to happen for you to cut somebody off and stop messing with them. But that's really, truly, genuinely just not the case. I can stop messing with you because I just don't want to mess with you. Point blank, period. Like, I don't need to have no other extra explanation. No, none of that. If you feel like y'all not on the same wavelength, y'all not on the same path of life, you have every right to go ahead and skedaddle. Like, I don't need to keep stringing you along just because we are childhood friends. Just because we have been friends for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, like since sandbox, since cradle, like whatever. The longevity of the friendship, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter, but it's not a determining factor of keeping the friendship. And a lot of people get that confused. A lot of people don't know how to let go because they've held on for so long. And it can become unhealthy when you really think about that, because somebody does not owe you their friendship. Somebody does not owe you conversation. Somebody does not owe you their life. And a lot of people are very much entitled into thinking that way, and it's not that. When you grow up, you change, and that's okay. And when you change, it's very possible that your change and their change just doesn't connect the way it used to. Y'all could have connected in the past. Now we're here and now you don't, and that's okay. That is fine. You can wish them best. You can pray for them. You can do all of that and just not be friends, just not communicate. Just because you're not friends or just because you outgrow each other doesn't mean there has to be any kind of ill will. Like, there doesn't have to be no pressure. There's no smoke. There's no issue. We just good. Like, I'm just good on you. You good on me. And we're going to move on about our business. It's really that much simple. My honest advice, if you're in a situation where you've outgrown a friend that has been your friend for years and is really messing with you and you don't know what to do, I would say choose yourself. Choose yourself every single time. Choose yourself this time, that time, and next time. Choose yourself, because at the end of the day, you're going to keep changing. That's just what it is. That's what life is about. Life is about becoming who you are. Life is about changing. And if you and this person don't collide, y'all just don't. Choose yourself and you be happy, because you don't want to lose yourself trying not to lose someone else, because you'll keep losing yourself every single time. And you'll have a bunch of people still standing beside you. But is that what you want? Is that what you need? You are not somebody that is expendable. You are not somebody that has to compromise for your own happiness. Choose yourself, because at the end of the day, it's all about you and it's your life. Most of the people that listen to my podcast, I have people in all age groups, but the largest group is 17 to 29 years old. So I thought it was very appropriate to make an episode about the 20-somethings, because these 20-somethings is hard. It's hard out here. People don't know. It's very, very much difficult. Yes, we having fun. Yes, we lit, but we are going through it every day. We are fighting for our lives every single day. So it was very, very necessary to have an episode where we really just talk about all the things that we go through as 20-year-olds. And if there's something I didn't mention that you wish I would have mentioned, let me know, because there are so many things that one little podcast episode cannot even talk about when it comes to all the things that we go through as 20-year-olds. But I do hope that this episode did help shed some light on some things, especially with the trauma, the hyper independence, and the outgrowing people. These are 3 things that you're very likely to experience at least one of them in your 20s. So it is important that you listen to this, or you send it to somebody to listen to this, so we can all get through it and be strong together, because we all do need help. And it's nothing to just listen to somebody else's perspective and change your own, or alter your own, or just gather different insight and come up with your own new different perspective from hearing somebody else's. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. I want us to be like more open-minded and more open to learning, because I feel like that's how I've changed and become a better person over time. And that's how I feel like I'm going to continue to be a better person, is I'm going to listen to other people's perspectives. I'm going to share mine. We're going to talk. We're going to hash it out. We're going to think of different things, and we're going to come with different solutions and different resolutions to become better us. We're going to be in our 30s, and we're going to be helping the next generation go through their 20-somethings. And everybody's 20-somethings is going to be different, because the world is forever changing, but there are some things that never change, and we definitely have the skills, the right, and the opportunity to help the next person. So you mean to tell me this is the end? Well, not exactly. Before I wrap things up, I do want to talk about the giveaway. So this is episode 4. On episode 5, 2 weeks from today, I will be doing the first ever giveaway. When I release this episode, the giveaway will start 12 o'clock sharp tonight. The giveaway will start. All of the details of the giveaway will be on the post, so you don't have to try to remember everything. I'll have everything very much detailed and outlined for y'all. Very simple, very sweet, very smooth. It's not going to be nothing too crazy. It's going to definitely be a free giveaway. Heavy on free. Everything's better when it's free, so you might as well join. The prize and the gift for the giveaway is going to also be a surprise, but I will say that it's going to definitely be mental health, self-care related, obviously, of course, and it will be gender neutral. So guys, you can join. Girls, you can join. It will be something for everybody. Right now I'm sitting on one winner, but if I'm feeling nice, if I'm feeling frisky, I might do 2. I might do 1 boy, 1 girl, just 2 random people. I don't know yet. We'll see when we get there. But because September is Suicide Awareness Month and October is Mental Health Awareness Month, I really did want to start getting a bigger audience, getting more people to listen to the podcast, getting, just more people an opportunity to hear, because as the episodes go on, we are finna start talking about some more deep-ish. We are finna start having more people on here. So I'm very, 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 very excited for the giveaway. So y'all stay tuned, and as soon as you get done listening to this, just go ahead and enter the giveaway. So thank y'all for listening to episode 4. Make sure you leave comments, make sure you leave reviews, text me, all of that good stuff. Share. And thank y'all for listening. Bye.